A guy couldn't tell you in chat says, "All right, boys, take your shirts off. It's pervert time." Not that kind of podcast.
My dog. It's always that kind of podcast. I'd
No,
take
you're
my
gonna have
shirt
to go
off
to
if
my
I didn't.
OnlyFans to see that shit. You have to pay for that. But
The dong that ends creation.
that, there you go. There you go. Welcome to the 168th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show I interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent community. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, do all the things social. Every little bit helps. And feel free to join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast so you can interact with the guests or just hang out in the chat. You can also subscribe to this channel for just $5 to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also do that for free by attaching your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped their debut album, The Receiving End of a Disappearing Machine, back in August through Morse Code Records. Welcome in Declan Fear of Thraximundar. How's it going?
What's up, man? Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for coming on. So how did this project get started?
Honestly, the pandemic. It was the start of the pandemic. We didn't have anything going on, and I went back to the old reliable time killer, Fruity Loops. And yeah, so like me and my lady, we went to England. We came back, and like on March 19th, so like right when the fucking pandemic started, and we didn't have nothing to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it back to the 7th grade and get messing around with Fruity Loops again, and that's where we are.
And make some sick beats. I gotcha.
And make some sick beats. I wish that you had heard some of the first stuff that I made, because it was not so sick.
So were you involved in music before this, or is this your first like dabble into it?
So I've always been involved in music. Not necessarily in the creation part of it, but like I used to have, actually, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this before. I used to have a blog way back in the day. It was called Duckcore Blog. And it was like one of the OG like deathcore blogs and stuff. So I had tons of stuff going up on there. And so I've always been like real involved in like the local scene and kind of like the deathcore community and stuff like that. But no, I never made anything. I used to record like shitty covers when I'd stay home from school, like as a kid, but I never released anything, you know?
So we've got some people in
Unicorn Hole in here.
We got Unicorn Hole, SC
Yeah.
Cybergram Pride. Let's go.
SC Cybergrad, stand up, dude. That's
Brandon
hype.
from Sterling. Chris, don't ask any Raiders questions tonight. Not
Please
a fan
don't.
of sports ball, so that wouldn't be much of an issue. I get that gather that Declan is though.
Dude, heartbreaker, heart fucking breaker tonight, man. So sad, but that's okay because it's gonna be 15-1, only loss of the season, Super Bowl, baby. They don't even have a football team in Maine.
Do they not really? Okay.
No, yeah, Maine doesn't.
State. Okay.
No, Maine has Stephen King.
That's
And
an L,
that's all
L
I can
for
think of.
Maine right there.
Oh no, and Sterling. It's got the boys in it.
That's the
Yeah.
W. They got the W with that one.
Big shout outs to Sterling.
Guy couldn't tell you says just wanted to say a quick thank you to the Sterling boys for introducing me to Thraximundar. I
Yes,
do have
sir.
to say there's a lot of similarities between the sounds, and we're gonna get into that definitely. So you said this is the first like project where you've actually like released music or whatever. How does it feel finally getting like a full album out?
It honestly felt really good. So I put out a couple EPs and stuff like that, which were cool, which I definitely enjoyed making. But it felt really, really nice making something complete, and that was an idea from start to finish, and everything sounds kind of similar. It's more than just 4 songs, you know. That felt really cool, and I'm pumped up to release some more stuff and kind of make some more complete ideas, where I'm sort of painting a picture as opposed to doodling, you know.
Okay, so you're saying that the album you put like I guess a lot more thought into it, obviously because it's an album, but like you saying that the ideas on your EP weren't fully fleshed, I guess. Or because you were saying like things sound similar on this album now, so like the EP
Right.
did it not sound similar on like the EPs or
So
how would you
did.
look at it?
So kind of my issue. Well, not necessarily my issue. Like I love the EPs. Like they were very fun to make. I enjoyed them making them front to back. I like loved releasing them. I was so stoked because they were some of the first things that I had made. But I found oftentimes kind of like with the shorter format, especially since I was learning so much, that oftentimes I would have, a couple songs that are from this period and a couple songs that are from this period. And I'd like mess with it. I'm sure you can relate, but like you turn the presence knob up on like one of your amps for one of your songs, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Now I have to go like re-record everything with dude. Like goddamn. Like now I gotta like change everything because that little bit sounded good. And I think the full length was kind of my first release that I've made where I sort of knew what I was doing. And from like start to finish, I was like, all right, here we go. Like I got my process down pat and I could put this shit out. Rather than the EPs where I sort of like figured stuff out halfway and had to like go re-record stuff because I figured out like the amp goes last in the effects chain, like it was better knowing start to finish this time for sure.
Righty. And I have to say this sounds way better than your EPs, like production wise at least. Like it's like way beyond what you had for the EPs.
Thank you.
Congrats on that.
The next shit sounds killer. I can't wait to like release more stuff. I'm kind of a workhorse dude. I've got like 70 different projects and little files and stuff like that going at one time, and I can't wait to put more shit out.
Okay, so you got another Thraximundar album in the wings then?
I got hella bullshit. I got because I have like a little record label, so it's called Remorse Code Records, and it's what I like. Have just different little facets of my personality, I guess, into. So I have the theme, which is kind of like gory, like slam type stuff. I've got Pyrex Casket, which is like sort of hip hop influenced stuff. I've got Thraximundar, which is obviously the metalcore type stuff. And I've got tons of unreleased stuff. I got like West Columbia No Mercy, which is like a little rap project, which sucks, but can't wait to put stuff out for it. It's garbage.
I really like the name Pyrex Casket. That's fucking sick.
I'm going to be real with you. Pyrex Casket is like the best thing that I've ever come up with in my entire life. And so the reason why there's not that many Pyrex Casket releases is because it has to be perfect because the name is so sick.
Speaking of names though, so I'm familiar where Thraximundar comes from. I guess you're a big fan of Magic then.
I used to be back whenever I hated myself in my wallet. I stopped. I played like as a kid, and then I stopped probably whenever I was 19.
Okay.
I still love it. It got too complex.
So it's just like a cool name then. Like it's not. You don't have like a big attachment to the card Thraximundar then.
Kinda. So I had. Are you familiar with EDH?
Yeah.
So I had an EDH deck that was Thraximundar because I love Grixis. Grixis is my shit. That's all the best colors. And so whenever I was trying to think of a name, matter of fact, originally all the Thraximundar tracks were Pyrex Casket tracks. But I didn't really feel like it fit. And so I was just like thinking of cool stuff that I knew about. And I was like, Thraximundar, Grixis. Like, I fuck with Thraximundar heavy because he's a zombie assassin, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's his creature type, zombie assassin. It's just nothing cooler on this planet. I'm thankful every day that Wizards of the Coast hasn't reached out to me and told me to stop.
Did you see the reprint they did? I think it's like a year now where they did it in like a metal format. Like it looks like a metal poster.
It's so fucking cool. but it's also encroaching on my lane. It's like, damn.
They heard about you putting out music. They're just like, hey, you gotta put out this card.
I was hoping it would stay low key, so like people would just forget about the Magic card forever. And if you like Googled Thraximundar, I'd be like, oh man, this kid in South Carolina makes metal music with his computer. But they just keep making him cooler, dude.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Guy Couldn't Nutella for saying that my Spheres of Madness cover fucks. I apprate that.
I believe it's Guy Couldn't Tell You, but
Guy couldn't tell. I thought it was Nutella.
But yeah, so How would you classify Thraximundar, like in terms of genre?
That's hard. And I'll be honest with you, like my whole life I've always thought about making music, and the kind of music that I make as Thraximundar or Pyrex Cassidy or Bethine or whatever, like I do not make anything like what I always imagined I would make. If you like kind of sat me down and put me like in a room and you're like, make something, in my head, I'd always imagined that I'd be like, oh, I'm going to sound exactly like Pig Destroyer. Nothing like Pig Destroyer. I think it kind of sounds like if like Danza had like a weird baby with some like cybery type stuff. I really don't know. It changes every day, but I think that's what's exciting about the project is as I get more comfortable producing and making things, it's obviously going to be different. But right now, I would say Danza mixed with like EDM type influence stuff. Not dancey, but you know, a little bit of hella overcompressed EDM kick.
Okay. Yeah, like there's definitely a huge like deathcore thing going on with like some gen thrown in, and then like you said, yeah, a lot of the cyber grind elements or whatever. I guess cyber grind's a good like label, but yeah, I mean, I guess with cyber grind that could mean fucking anything also. So there's that, but yeah, it's like if I feel like if Serling was like more electronic influenced, it would be very similar to what you have going on.
I could definitely vibe with that and agree with that. And also that's a huge honor because like I said, those dudes rip. So if I'm in the same breath as Serling, I'm pumped on that. So
I really like also your experimental side, like the track Never Really Here. Just a great way to like break up the intensity. A lot of bands like with your sound just fucking keep going and like pummeling or whatever. Every track is like brutal and stuff, and then you had this awesome like piano track like in the middle of it, which is fucking cool as hell. Is that you talking to a kid on there, or what's the sample on that?
So that's that song actually like and I'm not trying to get weird or anything like that. Like dude, obviously the kind of music. Let's get weird. Yeah, come on. The kind of music that we're in is not like emotional music. You know, like I'm sure you've been at shows before or something like that where they're like, you know, this one goes out to everyone who's ever been depressed. It's called, and it's like, that's not fucking, you know, like, what are you talking about? But that particular song made like my girlfriend cry. Like she was like, oh my God. Cause it's a dad talking to a little kid named Declan. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just something about that sound clip. I guess like one of the big themes of the record, and I guess kind of like of my life lately, has been feeling like I've lost connection with just the joy that like being a kid brings you, you know? Where you don't have like anything to worry about. Like in the sound clip, the dad asked him, he's like, Declan, do you want to be an astronaut? Declan, do you want to be the president? You know, like, and it's just some fucking 3-year-old who I hope never hears that song. But yeah, man, you know, there's something profoundly sad to me about hearing a father like talk to his kid in such a hopeful way. And then you wake up and you live here, you know, Columbia, South Carolina, or whatever city you're from in Texas, you know, it's just thinking about talking to your younger self, like as a child, if you could tell him and you could warn him that like, listen, dude, you might want to be the president or the astronaut right now, but you're going to be like, just shit ain't working out, dude.
Now, if I could talk to my younger self, I'd be like, dude, invest in Apple stock. Just, you know.
Yeah, buy Bitcoin or like turn around, like stay a kid forever. Don't mess around, you know, be happy, be free, be young, like do your thing, dude. Cause one day you're going to look like a deathcore Jack Skellington. And it's just could be working at a grocery store.
Your camera is kind of cutting off the top of your head. Can you like?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It could go a little bit more, but that's fine. We're right.
I got
But
excited and I started skating forward.
but yeah, man, all your like little electronic influences and stuff really bring out things in here. What are your big influences going into this?
As far as like who I wanted to sound like or who I heavily fuck with.
Like where are you pulling your influences for the music? I mean, I guess like yeah, who do you who are you trying to sound like? I guess or where the you know what I'm saying? Where are your musical influence?
No, I feel you. So the stuff that inspires me isn't necessarily the same type of stuff that or isn't necessarily obvious. Like I listen to a lot of like King Gizzard, and I listen to like a lot of R&B and stuff like that. But also there's weird stuff that inspires me. So I don't know if you ever use this technique, but I'll oftentimes like I'll take like a hip hop song or something like that, and I'll like compose it into MIDI, and then I'll like flatten it all into like a C and an F sharp or something like that, and delete different parts of it to see like what kind of sounds rhythmically cool as a breakdown. So I mean, there's tons of stuff on there that's just like ripped MIDI from one of them's Gravel Pit from Wu-Tang. I took some Gravel Pit MIDI and like squashed it and just let that roll and kind of saw what that sounded like. But I'd say as far as who I aspired to sound like on the record, it was definitely a lot of Danza. Who else? I've Been Shot. Love I've Been Shot. I just kind of wanted to make it a little more chaotic and really sort of fit in with the cybery crew that we got going.
Well, so where did the cyber influence?
Movies. I would say for sure. Like the intro is from what's the name of that fucking movie? I can't remember the name of the movie right now, but no, we'll watch tons of stuff around the house. If I could pick up my camera, I'd show you all the DVDs and stuff. But we watch like Moon and what else we watched recently? Fuck that movie.
Well, so
I can't remember
there's
the name.
like
I'm sorry.
there's samples from like movies or whatever, but there's also like a lot of like glitch effects and other like weird like electronic like sounds and such.
Yeah.
So like, what made you want to put that stuff in there?
Like I said, it definitely is movies. It's like sci-fi horror and like kind of just like weird, creepy stuff. Because the whole time that I made that record, I very much thought about, like I said, just kind of like I was losing touch with just the way that shit's been going since the pandemic, the way that shit's been going, especially this past year, kind of in my life. It didn't necessarily feel like I was like occupying my own body and my own space. And I'm sure that you and a lot of people can relate to that. It just feels like we woke up in bizarro world, which I guess is kind of the theme of waking up on the receiving end of a disappearing machine, because it's just like, it just doesn't feel like Earth anymore with all the crazy shit going on and like the things that people do to each other and just like the things that we're focused on and the way companies are. It just doesn't feel good, So I definitely watch a lot of like dystopian science fiction type stuff. And I guess that kind of lends its way into the glitchiness where it just feels like something has gone wrong. And I just kind of want the music to sound like that and reflect that.
Okay. Unicorn Hole says the new album beats ass. The sci-fi spoopy parts add a lot. Okay, that makes sense to me though. Like you just get try to incorporate like the horror sounds and stuff like that, I guess. And
not necessarily horror per se, but I feel like it's existentially confusing to exist as a human being in 2022. Like it's just what the fuck are we doing?
Well, the next part we were going to talk about were your lyrical inspiration. I couldn't find the lyrics anywhere, but you were just talking about it. I'm assuming it's all about like how fuck up society is, stuff like that. Is that about right?
Kind of. I'll be honest with you. I would say, let me scoot this a little more. I would say, honestly, like 99% of my lyrics, both on the full length and on every EP, to be honest, has just been about working. Like there, yeah, obviously there is existential crises that we face, but I think that the biggest existential crisis that we face as humans is just how drawn we are to work and how, you know, just how it's like forced upon us. Like we shouldn't be working as much as we do. We especially shouldn't be working 40 hours a week until we're 65, and then hopefully we get to, you know,
If
use
you
our
get to
little
65.
401k. Yeah, if you get to 65. Or if the planet hasn't burned by the time that you're ready to retire, you know? And so honestly, I would say, yeah, 95% of my lyrics are about working, just like working yourself to death, working for somebody else, like not living a life that's true to you and instead slaving away for someone to make, you know, boss makes a dollar, I make a dime kind of shit. That's most of the lyrics.
Dude, that's a really cool depressive theme. I feel like I never really thought about like making a whole album about that, but that sounds really cool. You should put the lyrics up on Bandcamp so that people could. Oh, there you go. So people
There I go.
could check them out as well. What
I've considered that, but to be honest with you, and I don't know how you perceive lyrics and how you perceive vocals and stuff like that. Um, but to me,
you are muted or happen to your.
all better.
There we go. Okay.
All right. I don't know how you feel about lyrics and how you feel about recording vocals and stuff like that. But for me personally, I definitely use vocals and lyrics and sounds as just another instrument for sure, especially in our genre. You know, if I was doing like indie alternative or something like that, I think I would focus a lot more on the vocal content. But most of the times I just pick what sounds good, make the noise that I think sounds good, and then work it out later. And it also feels kind of special that it's like just for me, like not sharing lyrics. I know that's a bad look. That's a stupid take, but I fuck with it, you know?
Okay. I mean, I guess the way I would say it is like you're putting the music out there, like and you got this message behind it too. Like you don't want to like share that with everybody.
So I do, but I also like for me personally, I want it to be because there's so much stuff that you listen to that is just upfrontly like, here are my beliefs, check them out, do your thing, like listen to me kind of stuff. I don't want anyone to listen to me, but if someone really enjoys it first off and they want to, like go under and like discover more stuff about it, that to me is hype. But I think if you're a band like I don't know, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of like hyper political bands where it's just very in your face. And I think that kind of tends to separate people because if you don't necessarily believe that, or if you don't necessarily vibe with that whole kind of deal, you're not going to check it out because at the forefront is that contact where they're like trying to tell you this thing. For me, it's like, oh, you enjoyed the music? Cool. Check out like the other stuff that has to do with it, more so than like at the forefront, like anti-work, eat the rich kind of stuff.
Okay. So you're not trying to be political, but you got like a political message.
I definitely do. I'm a very political person.
It just feels like you should. I feel like, are you like afraid to put them out there or something?
No, not necessarily that. I don't think that anyone would be like turned off. I mean, especially in the subgenre that we are. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, well, I'm a hardcore right wing person and I just don't vibe with that, But I think honestly, at least for me, with like music in the past and stuff like that, some of the coolest aspects of me listening to them have been the discovery period, and I think if it's just like so upfront, it doesn't necessarily give anyone that satisfaction of figuring it out. So if someone wants to figure it out, if someone wants to talk to me about it personally and like take the next step, I'm stoked on that. But
Gotcha.
I don't want to
So
be
you just like stick your claws in them, make them like the music, and then afterwards be like, "Hey, here's some socialism." So you just
pretty much, yeah, like
okay,
like
okay.
if you're down with like fucking overthrowing your oppressors, like hit me up. But like otherwise, just like enjoy the music
a
because
little
it's
socialism
music.
trap. I like it.
Yeah, yeah,
No, that's tight. That's tight. So you did all the recording, mixing, and mastering, right?
yes.
Hell yeah! Like I said, that is a huge step up from what you were doing before.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
What's like? What was the process like? How long did it end up taking? Yeah, just talk about it a little bit.
It took way longer than it should have. First off, way longer than it should have. I've had my creative process is kind of like just whenever I feel like a vibe coming on or something, I'll just like get on the computer and I'll like bang out a couple songs and then maybe not touch anything for 3 days. And then everything just stays tucked away in like a little folder for whatever mood I was feeling kind of. So those songs have probably been written at least instrumentally for about a year. And then I just like go back and tweak them every now and then. Certain songs were just recently came up with, but the majority of the record was written like, yeah, kind of sporadically over the past year. I'm sure that you can relate, or maybe you can, I don't know. Vocals, dude. If I never had to record vocals, I could put out a record once a month.
What do you mean by vocals specifically? Like tiring your voice out, or what do you mean?
No. I don't get tired. It's not like I like have difficulty doing the vocals or anything like that. It's just figuring it out, figuring out the vocal patterns, figuring out the lyrics.
Oh, I hate writing lyrics. I hate writing lyrics.
It's the worst, man. Like I wish that I had some genius that lived with me who just had pages of lyric books and they were like, can't wait to put this on your tracks. And be like, let's go, dude. Let's drop it right now. I got 700 instrumental songs ready for lyrics.
Purple Skank in chat says Declan's hair been on point since I met him in elementary school.
I have no idea who that is.
That's why I read that out because I was like, oh, maybe this is a clue.
Yeah. Not a clue. Thank you though. Yeah, there's a lot here. So
it is.
I really want to know who that is. 93. So yeah, they're my age.
Purple Skank, you want to tell us who you are? Or give him some kind of hint that would help. But so is there a specific plugin that you would say is like the thing that like saves your life, or like something that you really want other people to know about?
Life-changing plugins. So I think because I do everything hey, Jake Bachman, my dog. Thank you, Jake. Anyways, so I would say for me personally, there's definitely going to be a different plugin for every single kind of process I get. I would say for vocals, it's either the JST gain reduction. I have no idea how big of a difference that would make, but yeah, dude, JST gain reduction. Everybody
fucking says that, and I've not tried it out yet. I guess I have to get
it. It's so good. If you send me some on processed vocals or something like that, or some just like vocals that you are fucking with or something, I can put it through gain reduction and send it back. You can kind of see like an A/B before you buy it. But yeah, gain reduction is awesome. Also, Head Crusher for vocals, free distortion plugin. I love it. Guitar, that's pretty easy. It's Neural DSP. I think if you asked every single band that you had on here what digital amp plugins they like, they'd all say Neural DSP. But I'm also, I like kind of slumming it, I like messing with just the stock fruity plugins sometimes, like the gross beat. I like FL Hardcore a lot. Okay. But I'd say if I had to pick one, it'd probably be gain reduction, or maybe Valhalla Supermassive, because you can make some wild shit with Supermassive.
What is that, like a reverb?
So yeah, it's like a reverb delay. But they have, I mean, there's like 70 different presets, and you can make some shit that sounds like otherworldly.
Huh.
It's free. Get it. Yeah, what are you? Yeah, get it. What are you doing? Get Valhalla Supermassive. Yeah, just download it and like throw it on something and see if you like it. But yeah, Valhalla Supermassive is incredible. And it's fucking free.
I was gonna check it out. So did you make the art as well?
I did. So I've
Before you say it, is it a computer generated image, an AI generated image?
Bits and pieces of it, yes.
Okay.
So and like, so I make a lot of digital art, and like I really love doing that. Like it's probably it's one of my big passions. But I felt that the digitally generated art in particular for this release fit very well.
Oh yeah,
because of just because of like the weird sci-fi vibes, you know, like
honestly, I didn't realize it was computer generated until I looked at your other arts, and I was like, oh, this must be as well, because some of the other ones look like they are. And like I thought that you spent a good amount of money making this. I was like, damn, you got someone to do some good art for him or whatever. So, fuck yeah, that's great, man.
I appreciate that you think it looks good enough to have paid for, but no, I've always had, I guess, like a big DIY ethos, like and not because I'm broke, like I make pretty good money, but I've never wanted to pay anyone for, you know, mixing, recording, mastering, artwork, promo, like anything. I think it's so much more fun to just try and see how far you can get entirely by yourself. God damn. Entirely by yourself. No, it's just kind of fun. It's part of the challenge.
Right. Why pay somebody for something that you feel like you could handle on your own? That makes sense.
Yeah. And you also, like, sometimes you kind of uncover shit that you really like by doing it that way. Like, for example, I never would have known that I was into graphic design unless I needed album covers. And I was like, well, I can try and make album covers myself. And I was like, oh shit, I love this.
Nice. Well, yeah, like I said, I think this looks really fucking good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are the plans for the future? You said you had more releases coming and stuff. Yeah. What do you have going on?
Yeah. So, right now I've got, like I said, I've got all the other kind of side projects, that I definitely want to put stuff out for. The current release that I'm working on now, for Thraximundar anyway, I'm hoping to put out on the Call Me. Do you know Call Me Armageddon, Quinn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super cool, dude. And I just want to give a quick shout out to both you and to Quinn. And I mean, there's other people, but you guys are the people I'm talking about specifically right now. You guys do so much for our weird little niche in the music world, and I honestly can't thank you enough. It's great to see some people who are passionate about it. It's great to see some people that are, you know, kind of fucking with it and doing what they can in order to get people exposure and promotion. But I
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, you kill it. I mean, you're on episode, what is this, 197?
No, 168.
168. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. I would have given up so long ago if you told me I had to do something every week for 168. Insane. You're killing it.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm hoping to put the first single of the next record out on the next Call Me Armageddon comp, which comes out in January. Okay. So that'd be really cool.
Are you like open to getting on like a label or something? Or are you trying to keep this strictly DIY?
I like the idea of keeping it strictly DIY, which is why I have my own label. Label.
Going to talk a little bit more about that in a second too, but yeah, we can get into it.
Oh no! Go ahead. If you had a plan for a different time.
Oh no! That was the segue. Actually, was gonna get into
my label.
So you didn't have like any merch or anything like that up. So when are you planning on doing like CDs and shit, or like what's the point of the label? Is it just to like have like a spot where all your music can be found, or what's going on with that?
I think so, and I also think it's just I kind of have a project addiction. So I think for me personally, just having another project is a lot of fucking fun. Um, I wish that I wasn't the way that I am, but every time I sit down and write and record something, I start a new fucking project. So I wanted a place to kind of compile everything because honestly, most of them don't work out. But every now and then, yes, Pyrex casket t-shirts are coming big. I have so many Pyrex casket designs and they're sick. But I guess just really with the merch kind of stuff is I wanted to wait until I had some really, really, really cool ideas for merch. I have a bunch of Thraximundar shirts sitting in my closet right now. They're just like white shirts with like the black logo on it or anything. If anyone in the chat wants to hit me up and message me, I'll send you one. I've got like 10 of them. I wanted to tie dye them. I don't want to sell them. I just want to give them to people. I think that's fun. Like people who really fuck with it, you know, like if you want, I'll send you one.
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, I got you. I'll tie dye it. That's what I got them for. I got them to tie dye. So yeah, if anyone in here hits me up, I'll happily send them one, unless you're my dad, because he already steals a bunch of my fucking clothes. I saw his name way up there, so I know Declan Fear is in the chat right now.
Well, it would be cool to have like a shirt that's like the album cover on it or something like that. Why aren't you doing like, I don't know, something along those lines, or CDs even, or something like that?
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. Kind of in an ideal world, I guess that I would put something out, but I think what kind of happened is, so with this record, and I'll just keep it honest with you, with this record coming out, it kind of coincided with like a huge shift in my life as far as like work and finances and stuff goes. And I just like, I want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be lined up. And it just turned out that I didn't have everything lined up. I would love to put some shirts out, but I don't want to put them out late. I wanted to make cassettes, but I don't want to put them out late. I recently just started a new job, so now I'm doing 2 jobs. I work at a grocery store and then I work for a school.
God damn.
And so every day I'm 5:30 until 8 p.m. or something like that. And I haven't had time. Thanks, son. Where is my shirt? Is what my dad said. Jesus Christ. I'll give you a shirt, Declan Fear.
Any plans to take this to the stage? Or any of your other projects for that matter?
So somebody, I don't know if I should, because they haven't like formally announced it yet. So I don't want to say anything like steal thunder, but somebody who I think is in the chat has talked about throwing like a little fest or something. And they've asked me if I wanted to play, and I would love to play. I want to find a way to make my music enjoyable and fun in a live atmosphere, because as of right now, did you ever see I Set My Friends on Fire?
I never have, actually, and that's actually a band I need to check out. I keep forgetting the
I love I Set My Friends on Fire. They rip. Big fan. But I went and saw them, and it's just some dude shrieking over a laptop.
Is it really?
Yes. And like I don't want to do that, you know? So I'll tell you what I've been doing is I don't have it to show you. I've been trying to mod a Guitar Hero controller to like, because this is going to blow your mind. They have a fucking MIDI output on Guitar Hero controllers.
Huh.
So yeah, I've been trying to map a Guitar Hero controller to some MIDI sounds, and then maybe that'll be like a cool live thing. But under no circumstances am I ever playing screaming over a laptop. No way.
Well, you have a guitar in there, so why can't you play guitar and stuff too? Like, I feel like that's adequate. That's what I do.
So you've fallen into my trap card. I actually do not play. I don't play guitar.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I remember.
It's all programmed.
Your label's Bandcamp says like something about fake metal or something like that. Like always making fake metal or something. Okay.
Yeah, no,
so like
I don't play any instruments. I have a keyboard here. I can't even play the damn keyboard. Like I'll show you. Let me show you what I use it for. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, we can.
That's what I use it for.
Oh, okay.
I
Make
use it for
sound
this
more real.
modulation knob. Yeah. So I use it for the modulation knob, and that's it, dude. I don't play any instruments. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I need to make it fun and exciting and interesting and interactive for people before I ever decide to play a live set of me screaming over a laptop.
So are you saying that I Set My Friends on Fire wasn't cool to see live then?
It was cool because I'm a huge fan, but there's a little bit left to be desired, and I think you've kind of hit on the zenith of it, because you play the guitar and stuff, and you're very talented and very good, and you have programmed drums, which is totally cool. But there has to be something there, rather than someone just being like, "All right, are you fucking ready for this?" Like, that just that sucks, dude.
I've seen a couple of people being able to pull it off, but I've also seen some people not able to pull it off, and if you can't pull it off, it is pretty cringe.
And there's gotta be something, like, even if you're not doing much, like I use 9 Inch Nails for an example. If Trent Reznor did like a solo show, I'd be hype on it, but like I better see him like touch on some keyboards or something. If he just like hit play on some shit and just like started yelling over it, what am I here for, dude?
Well, so I guess the plan then is to figure out something to do with the Guitar Hero guitar, or do you have like
Yes.
a desire to like learn any instruments or anything?
So, and this is kind of letting a little bit of my personality out, I guess, but I've always really, really, really enjoyed just handicapping myself, So like, I think part of the fun for me of making music is seeing how far I can go and how good I can make it without knowing any music whatsoever.
Okay.
Because like I'll tell you, like a magical dream scenario or whatever is like, one day I like make collab tracks with Slipknot or something like that. I'd love to like do an interview with a magazine, and they're like, "Well, what's your musical background?" And me be like, "Fucking nothing," Like that's just hype to me. Yeah, I've
There's
always
got to
been
be
that way.
some way to use a Guitar Hero guitar. Like, I don't know, have some sort of like, I don't know if this is possible. Maybe there's like a pedal or something that can store riffs or whatever on it, and you could change and like hit a button on Guitar Hero, and then it would play that riff or whatever for that song. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it.
I'm very in the early staging process of it, but I have plenty of ideas for the Guitar Hero controller.
I feel like there's a way. Brandon says, Chris, ask Declan if he actually used to go to Best Buy and use their computers for Matt Music. I need to know the truth. What's up?
That's a deep cut. Like I actually don't know how he knows that. I must have like posted like some dumbass throwback picture on Facebook. But yeah, I 100% used to go to Best Buy with, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but like with like a bunch of my friends, and we would just like sit around in there and like fuck around on the computers and make like blast beats and stuff like that, and just kind of just dick around. So yes, Brandon. Yes, I absolutely did used to go to Best Buy and use their computers to Mac music. And that's the truth.
That's crazy. I didn't know that you'd be able to like even download anything on their computers or whatever.
Dude, no, it's Best Buy era. It was lawless. This was like
the Wild West.
I think it was like it had to have been like 2008 or something like that. And yeah, you could. I mean, Best Buy was a whole different world. I have some videos that are really funny from that time period.
You'd post them on social media.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of embarrassing stuff from like my top childhood and teenage years. But yes, Brandon, I did. Blasting.
So like I said, you don't have merch, and you don't plan on putting anything out, right? No immediate plans, at least.
No immediate plans. I have shitloads of designs. I want to make sure that it is the right time. Purple zebra striped skinny jeans, absolutely. I want to make sure that it's the right time, because I don't just want to like be one of those guys who's like, local metal band, like Big Things Coming, and it's like an anime girl T-shirt or something,
Hey,
you
that
know, like
fucking slaps, you know. Like
I've
more anime girls on t-shirts. I'm down.
I will, and you can remind me of this, and you have my word. I will make a Thraximundar anime girl T-shirt, and I will send it. It'll be a one-off, and it'll be specifically to you.
Oh, did you put that shit up for like pre-order and it'd be gone in seconds? Like,
nope, it's only going to you. The only anime girl T-shirt is going directly to you. Matter of fact, when we get off this call, I might like go ahead and make it real quick. But no, I'd love to do merch. I just I don't know. Just it I don't feel like the right time.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we could just close this out with your album of the year so far.
It's gonna be a weird one.
Let's do it.
It's not a cool one. It's let me make sure I pronounce this right real quick, because I don't the name is kind of weird. So it's 100% King Gizzard's Omnium Gatherum.
Oh, their new release. You know, I still never listened to that. I really got to check that out.
There's not a doubt in my mind that is absolutely what it is. It's a banger, dude. It's a banger. It's got so many tracks on it. There's one track that kind of sounds like Gojira. It's bizarre, but I fuck with it heavy. It's definitely my album of the year. Either that or that new EP that Anthony Green put out.
I'm not familiar. I guess he's like a
with
pop
Anthony
artist or
Green.
something? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Circus Survive.
Oh yeah. I mean, I never even really listened to Circus Survive, man.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Dude, during that whole like era where those bands were popular, like even like Danza and stuff like that, I haven't really messed with too much. I was a huge metal elitist, so I never even like anything that was like that wasn't like the rawest black metal or like crazy slam. I was not into at all. So,
dude, you're wrong. You're wrong. You got
1,000%. I was incorrect, and yeah, and I'm trying to make amends now.
I always fell in kind of the weird group where like all the people that I hung out with were like hella crusty and only into like the most underground, like specific evil shit like as a kid. Right. And they would all make fun of me because I was like, I love Parkway Drive. And they were like, that's just fucking Declan, like the metalcore kid. Like just ignore him. Like he loves Parkway Drive.
That was totally me back in the day. Yeah, 100%. I was the guy making
Parkway
fun
Drive
of
has some bangers. Yeah. No, oh, you were the making fun of her.
Yeah, no, I was the guy making fun of you. 100%. Yeah, and I'd go around with like my Cannibal Corpse shirts, like the Butcher, the one with the Butcher babies on it. Like the album cover would be on the shirt, and be wondering like why I don't have a girlfriend. You know. So.
Because you never listen to Parkway Drive, dude. I was getting all the pussy listening to Parkway Drive while you were listening to death metal.
That's true. That's true.
Now I had some cool taste too, but I definitely had a lot more uncool taste. However, I will say that new Anthony Green record, as soon as we hang up off here, I'm sending it to you, and you're gonna listen to it, and you're gonna have Anthony Green on the cast that ends creation.
Oh, I highly doubt he'd want to come on.
He might come on. It's a banger, dude. I'm telling you, amazing record.
Well, is there anything else you want to say before we head on out?
No, I guess just quick shout outs to my girlfriend just came in.
Hi.
she said hi. Chris said hey. Quick shout outs to all the boys. Your Spirit Dies, that's a local metalcore band. Obviously Serling, Zombie Shark. Honestly, like big shout out to just like the whole Big Money Cybergrind community. It's been really cool, really supportive. And also, I do want to say to you as well that I genuinely do not think that I would have released anything ever if you didn't make music.
Oh, come on now.
No. And I'll tell you why. It's because one of my good friends, Keegan, who plays bass in Your Spirit Dies, right whenever I started fucking around making music and was like, I just want to be a one-man band because I don't collaborate or whatever. He was like, have you ever heard of Sound That Ends Creation? It's really cool. It's like a one-man band. I think you would fuck
with.
What
the fuck? Those guys know who I am? What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, Keegan does, dude. Yeah, Keegan's a big fan. He was the one that like put me onto you. And I listened to your stuff, and I remember like looking over your album art and stuff. I said, "This is so fucking cool. I'm gonna put some shit out," and I did. And now here we are. So
Hell yeah, man. Dude, I love hearing shit like that. I don't know how to necessarily respond to that except thank you.
no. Of course, yeah. You're killing it. And like I said, you're a pillar of the community and in what you do with music, and then also what you do with this podcast. So I really hope you keep it up.
Thanks, man. I'm really glad. I'm really thankful that you feel that way. Like I said, I'm really weird with people telling me that, like,
No, dude.
they're influenced by me or whatever. So yeah, man.
No, yeah, you and Zombie Shark and like Gigantic Brain and who else? There's been a bunch of like one man bands that like if you guys weren't making your music, like I wouldn't I wouldn't put anything out because I'd be like, no one wants to fucking listen to this shit.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I feel you. I mean, I have the same thing for like somebody else, like way back in the day. Like if they weren't doing like one man stuff, I wouldn't have the balls to do one.
Who's your person?
Name was I think it was Sean Whitaker. No shot. Anybody knows? Like he's from a band called Viral Load. Are you familiar with that? Brutal death metal band. He also did Insidious Discrepancy. No. Okay, yeah, I figured. He's a one man band. Did brutal Texas death metal like way back in the day. And,
Hell yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have wouldn't have started doing this stuff. So.
No, and that's what it's all about. And I hope that I know we got what is that 10 people in the viewers here. If you guys want to make anything, or if you guys are like excited or curious or anything like that, please hit me up and I'd be happy to give you any and all advice that I have. And this is a very supportive community. And I think I speak for everyone in the community, including Chris, that we just want to see a bunch of people make a bunch of bullshit and just do your thing, dude. Because like, just make some shit just to make it. So like hit me or Chris up, hit somebody up, and just release something into the world. And don't worry about if it's cool or anything like that. It's just you made something that didn't exist before, and that's cool enough. So yeah, thank you very much.
A guy couldn't tell you in chat says, "All right, boys, take your shirts off. It's pervert time." Not that kind of podcast.
My dog. It's always that kind of podcast. I'd take my
You're gonna have to go to my
OnlyFans
OnlyFans to see that shit. You have to pay for that. But
the dong that ends creation.
There you go. There you go.
You could do the dong that ends creation and like make a little extra beer money.
That's it. I'm just worth a little bit of extra beer money. Come on now, you have to spend top dollar.
Dude, I didn't say how much beer you're going to be drinking. A lot of beer money. But no, for real. Thank you for having me on. Thank you to Declan Fear, my father, for figuring out how to sign up for Twitch. I don't know how he did that, but anyways, and it's like a 6-year-old Englishman, and the Queen just died, so I know he's having a hard time. But he made time to be here to watch my little stream, so thank you.
Shout out to Dad.
Shout out, hey, that's Declan Fear. That's the best egg poacher on the planet. That man has poached 2 eggs a day for 45 years and hasn't missed a beat.
So if you're looking for some brutal experimental cyber grind, you gotta check out The Receiving End of a Disappearing Machine, the debut album from Thraximundar, which dropped back in August through Remorse Code Records. You're on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter. You have a TikTok as well. You're on all streaming platforms. Is there any kind of like other social media thing you want to send people to, or any websites?
You pretty much covered it. I mostly just use my Instagram, and then you can obviously, if you want to add me on Facebook, it's just Declan Fear. I'm the only one in the world, and I'm not a cool or popular or successful guy, so I will accept your friend request. Don't feel like you're harassing me.
As for me, drop my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get the access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is Crippling Alcoholism, who dropped their debut album, When the Drugs That Made You Sick Are the Drugs That Made You Better, back in August. Join us this Wednesday, the 14th, at 7 p.m. Central for the live cast. Thanks for being here, Declan. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you. And also, Crippling Alcoholism is an out of control name.
Oh, no, it's fucking
that,
sick, yeah.
Dude, that band deserves everything coming their way, because that's crazy. We should all just quit because we didn't think of crippling alcoholism.
Hell yeah. But thank you guys for watching and listening.